My name is Talib Akbar. I did 20 years. I am free. I'm only talking now because I am free and because I want the message out that solitary confinement beyond 15 days is torture.
The solitary confinement is when they keep prisoners in a room by themselves. They're kept away from contact with others, and it's used as a punishment, and it's used as a way to control, people who are, in some cases, who have mental health issues, but in some cases, it's for the smallest of infractions. Physically, you're in this little tiny room this whole time. There's nowhere to go. You're not in the sunlight. Sometimes that 1 extra hour, there will be a place outside the building. They'll have almost like a dog run, like a fenced-in area right next to the building where people can walk back and forth and be outside, but at most for an hour, and that's not even necessarily every day. So it just takes a huge toll, and the stress, I understand, of being in solitary confinement is horrific.
There is nothing to do in a solitary confinement cell but to count the walls, count the bricks, and just go around in a circle in your brain and be going nowhere.
It's a rare person who doesn't start to have really serious mental health issues after a certain amount of time in solitary confinement. Actually, the United Nations says that more than 15 days in solitary confinement is actually a form of torture because demonstrably it starts to eat away at your mental abilities, your mental state.
The torture I considered was not being able to keep warm when I was cold, and I know it was cold, staying away from the wall because the wall is like a brick of ice, and the sheets that they provide us with are so thin you could read a newspaper ad through them. And that was the nature of it, staying warm, staying under the covers because it was cold in the cell. It was rough. And it always will be rough until conditions change, People are treated more humane in there.
Wisdom is a network of faith-based organizations. We've been working on issues related to mass incarceration for at least 15 years. Our overall campaign is about reducing the number of people in prisons. The solitary confinement portion of the campaign doesn't necessarily reduce the number of people in prison, but how we deal with people in prison, in one sense, is right at the essence of what the campaign is about. It's about, are we going to deal with every human being as a human being, or aren't we? We feel it's really important to take this on, and it's really important to speak. If there's ever been a group of people who are completely voiceless in our society, that most people don't even know exist. I don't think people have any concept that there are 1,400 of our brothers and sisters right now in Wisconsin sitting in solitary confinement cells. It's a huge number of people who are suffering enormously and completely out of the public view. And we need to make that known.